daily being over there was like Christmas. I mean, just some great operators. They treat you like a seasoned operator. I mean, you're still learning from everyone. These guys got so much experience, and I just ate it up. Great influences, man. I mean, just the mentors that they were, and they took you under their wing, and just show you the way they kind of operate, and it was awesome. It was super awesome. Like I loved it.
What was Green Team like showing up there?
It was good. I mean, you're around all the guys that are putting out to get to the next rung on the ladder, and it was. I think Green Team was harder than Buds.
Really?
It seemed like there was more stress. You had more to prove. Your ego was kind of more on the line.
Okay.
Like, you could go back to the teams, back to Team 2 as a. I mean, you would call yourself a failure, like I failed or whatever it is. Not to say that like. And the guys that didn't make it through, they're great individuals, great operators, but just it wasn't, I guess, what they're looking for. And it was tough, man. It was extremely tough. But the main thing they concentrated on was CQB, and that happened to be my strong suit. It just like it was like I can just walk in a room and I can process really fast. I can't process in the relationship world, or with my children. But for some reason, doing CQB, I just got it. Like I just understood. Threat, bad guy, done. Not, hostage. Don't do anything wrong. Like I just got it. Like I comprehend the angles and doorways and windows. I just got it. And I say that humbly. And there's so many other things that it really took me a long time to get. Like I wasn't that great at it. I guess probably more of the passion piece. But there's nothing cooler than going through a hallway, running and gunning, and like peeling off, coming back out of the hallway, going to the next room. Like, what do we got? It's like a surprise behind every door. You just don't know what you get. But I strived in that. I did really good. And I'd say probably, the two things that I found in Green Team that they get rid of you for was, minus if you have an attitude or you just like don't fit the mold, was CQB in the beginning of it all. If you do a crazy safety violation throughout, and then jumping. If you're not landed on the X, you're not deploying correctly, because I mean, when you're asked to be at altitude at nighttime stacking to fly into wherever, you gotta be. I mean, dudes die. And I remember I talk about this in the book, is like it was like our final jump, like our final test jump, and I came down with strep, and I had like a 102, 103. I mean, I was hallucinating. I was out. And they came in, like, one of the instructors like, hey, Eddie, you got to jump. And I was like, hey, can I just do it tomorrow? Like, just let me pump in some meds. And he's like, no. He's like, you have to do it now. And I was like, all right. So I got the medic, and I was like, hey, dude, I don't know what you have to do. Pump me up with. Do something. And get me on that freaking bird. And I thought I was like, I mean, if you have a strep before, and you have a temper, like, it sucks. And you want me to jump out of a plane, which I didn't like to begin with. And I was like, screw it, dude. And I really didn't care if I burned in. And I got up there, and I even think that there was only a couple guys that needed to pass. Like, they let me alone because they knew I was sick. And I'm like, hey, this is your shot. And I just kind of like fell out of the plane, stabilized myself, pulled, and then I landed where I was supposed to. I was good to go. Took off my chute, dropped it right there in the DZ, and then went right up to my rack and went back to bed. I was done, man. But that was probably the hardest piece, minus the runs. It's always the runs, dude. That is like take the knife out of my freaking back, dude. This sucks. I hate the runs. But those are probably the two hardest things that I thought. But it was, again, the camaraderie. It was kind of like Buds on steroids. Like, hey, everything's operational. Like, we're doing an F&P, a full mission profile. It was cool. Like, it was exactly where I wanted to be. It was exactly what I wanted. It was awesome. And then the final stage of that, and I actually heard this on Shipley's, was SEER School, the final thing.
Yeah.
And the final thing, or the exercise, is they drop you off wherever, and you have to make your way back to the command out there, to the schoolhouse. And you have no money, you have no IDs, and you have to figure it out.
How far are you?
I think they said like 20 miles or something.
20 miles?
So you kind of like got to schmooze yourself and all that stuff. But what we did was took a razor blade and we cut in the soles of our shoes and we put like our ID and wrapped some hundreds around it, stuffed it in there because they check you. And as soon as they dropped us off, found a cab, went to a bar, got ripped. And I was with Marcus Capone. And we get back, we get to the schoolhouse. Like one guy is coming in with a case of beer. This is like an Air Force freaking school, the final stage of Green Team. We're just so excited. Like we just did it. Like it's over. You know, it's all good. And we come in hammered. I mean, I was hammered, and we almost got kicked out. Had to go see the Master Chief when we got back to our command back in Virginia. And I was like, "Are you kidding me? The last day I'm about to get kicked out. Like I am a moron. Like I am an idiot." And they kept us. And I was scared. I was like, man, like what I do?
Yeah.
I was like, this is stupid. Come on, man, grow up.
What did they say to you?
Just kind of like, again, don't remember exactly the words, but like, hey, we can't do that. We represent this command. Just can't be doing that stuff. You got to do the course to get the experience, all that stuff. And I was like, I understood. And I was humbled. And I was like, I'm sorry. Whatever. I can't remember what I had to do. I'm sure I had to do something. But there was a punishment. And I can't recall what it is, but it didn't matter. They didn't kick me out, and I got to graduate and go with my squadron.
So that was literally the last
day, last event. All we had to do was fly home.
Holy shit! Damn, dude.
Dumb.
That would have changed a lot of things.
A lot of things, but for some reason, man. For some reason.
Yeah.
You know.
You had mentioned that a lot of solid, seasoned operators didn't make it through for whatever reason. That's not what they were looking for. Can you describe maybe what the SEAL Team 6 Command is looking for in an operator?
I think out-of-the-box thinkers. I think that's a big thing. A team player. Mm-hmm. I wouldn't say someone that goes with the flow. They just went out of the box thinkers. And some of the guys that were awesome, they would just get flustered and do the same safety violation like three or four times in a row. Like just because it's a lot of stress, man. Yeah. It's a lot of stress. And then you just got this cadre, these instructors just like watching you and they don't miss a thing. I mean, you know from buds, right? Like they see it all. It's like, dude, how'd you see that? Mm-hmm. But yeah, I really just think like you like kind of put it like you didn't fit the mold. Or I heard, and this, I believe this is probably true, is, and I know from being up there, you get a list of Green Team guys, and you right there, like, this guy's a turd. This guy's a turd. This guy's good to go. And you write it down like this guy's a turd, and you got to obviously give a reason. And I'm sure some of those guys aren't invited, mm-hmm. and some of those guys are invited, but watch that guy. Because I'm sure if you got one guy saying this and another guy saying the opposite, they got to, do the right thing. But there's some of that.
How much of that is legitimate turds versus personality conflicts?
Hey everybody, I'm Shawn Ryan. Click here to subscribe to the Shawn Ryan Show YouTube channel for the hottest and most compelling interviews that you will not see anywhere else. I've also made a playlist of all the previous SRS episodes so they're easy to find. You can find that right here.